Midlife crisis disclaimer. Our views and opinions expressed here in our discussions are entirely our own and belonging solely to us and do not reflect the views and opinions of our current employers, organizations that we belong to, or even our respective families. Thank you. Good morning, good evening from Manila to New York and back. Welcome to Midlife Crisis. I am Fan.
I'm Raquel. Ano?
Matthew.
Julie.
Yeah, so welcome back. For today's podcast, Cherry is very busy at home.
Yes, nagpapaka-mommy siya.
Yes, and I
wife pala.
nagpapaka-wife, nagpapaka-homemaker, nagpapaka-everything, superwoman
Yes.
together with her Superman. Na I think that's also part nung midlife, no, na even if you have scheduled as much as possible that you want to stick with the schedule that you have prepared for the week, for the month, or whatever, since this is a weekly thing. Pero kapag merong when life happens, you have to attend to that first, no? So andun siya attending to life's happening sa bahay nila, ganyan. At nagpapaka-homemaker siya ngayon, ganyan, together with her lovely husband, si Melo. Hi, Melo. Ayan. So, kumusta ang lahat? How was your week?
Ayos naman. Medyo busy, pero ayos naman. Ayun, nakapag-mass din. Kayo, nakapag-mass. Kayo ba?
Nakapagmasa ako. Isa ba?
Nakapag-mass. Nanganak na yung nanganak yung gapi ko ulit ng 3. So may baby fry ako ang ngayon.
Anong kain?
Hindi naman niya kinain, hiniwalay ko na. Meron akong nabiling parang different enclosure na nasa suction dun sa loob ng aquarium. So, ayun. Excited lang ako. May mga maliliit.
Gapi is a kind of fish.
Ay, i-google ko na talaga siya.
Gapi fish, yung maliliit lang na simple fish. Freshwater fish na colorful.
Ganda.
I think if I'm not mistaken,
live bearers sila, by the way. Yan rin yung hindi lang alam ng iba. Live bearers, they don't lay eggs. Kapag nanganak sila, fry na agad.
Pero hindi mo pwedeng i-fried chicken. kasi fish sila. So,
Alam mo si Sir Matthew, bukod sa doktor to ng ng ating mga
pangangailangan. Doctor of Humanities Counseling and
Doktor
Psychology.
dito ng ng mga animals.
Ng mga kakayuban.
Ako naalala na yung sinend na picture ni Julie nung the other day.
Oo nga.
Bongga, alam yung type ng snake.
So, at dahil nga, pinag-uusapan din natin yung pagiging jack of all trades ni Doc Matt, I think it's also very timely that we talk about trade, no? And it all starts with the workforce. Yes. And kumbaga sa atin, no, na mga trabahante, mga nagtatrabaho, tayo nakasama ng workforce. May is also a good month to talk about it because May being Labor Day is very focused doon sa mga ganong klase ng aspeto on, in promoting, highlighting the people in the workforce and who makes it. And I guess it's very relevant to talk about it, the challenges and the level of maturity that we've had, and as we observed na ano tayo before and ano tayo ngayon. And yun din yung reason why we are parang calling our podcast episode for tonight, sumakses ka na ba? Ganyan. Kasi dun din natin yung parang ano ba yung parang measurement natin, what's our yardstick? Di ba yun naman din yung nakaraan natin? Di ba yun lang yung only basis and comparison that we have na ito kami before, etong mga ganitong mga bagay, challenge na sa amin to noon, pero ngayon, madali na sa amin to ngayon. Or kung hindi man madali, at least alam na natin yung magiging uh, either outcome or resolution to a particular challenge. So, maybe siguro, we
Dahil na-experience na.
Oo, and ano yun iba-ibang stages. We wanna talk about siguro from the hiring or recruitment process to the actual work to the um expiring or dun sa resignation or transferring from one work to another. Because siguro hindi ka masyado makaka-relate dun bilang hindi ka pa talaga totally nagtatrabaho, nasa co-op ka na, tapos hanggang doon ka na nagtrabaho, tapos mukhang diyan ka na rin magre-retire. Pero, I guess, ano nga ba talaga, di ba? Ano ba talaga yung, pero ang marami kami mapipick up sa'yo because, Raquel, for Raquel's, kumbaga, qualification with this discussion is that she can really say na,
Loyal ako.
Nice. Totoo naman.
So, with loyalty comes expertise. With comes mastery of kumbaga masyado mong kilala na rin, di ba? Sabing ganon, familiarity breeds contempt. But I think that's on a personal note. But here, in the professional level, it develops that level of mastery, that level of keenness to details na alam mo na kagad. Minsan nga to the point na kung merong kung merong manual, kaya mo na sabihin kung anong page ng manual mo makikita to.
Siguro. Bigla tuloy ko na-imagine. Oo nga. Parang yung, yung growth mo as a person. Yung dating iniyakan mo ngayon, pinagtatawanan mo na lang.
Yes, yes. Totoo naman din yun. But even before we go further, sabi ko nga ganun, we wanna talk about kunwari sa procurement, sa recruitment, sa recruitment process. Ano ba yung changes niyan? Nagbago ka ba? Nag-prepare ka ba before ng biodata? Sino ba dito mga nag-prepare ng biodata? Ako, familiar ako sa biodata.
Ako din.
Kasi nag-photocopy ako sa palengke before. Nagbabantay ako sa pwesto ng tita ko before. Nagtitinda kami ng film. Doon sa mga hindi nakakalam ano yung film kasi digital world na ngayon. Ito yung nilalagay sa camera dati. Kaya merong uso yung 12 shots, 24 shots, 36 shots. Tapos doon, meron din doon parang photocopier. So,
tanda mo na. Hindi ko alam yan eh.
Ito nakita ko lang sa... nakita ko sa... Naiyan na lang ako. Hindi ko alam kung paano ko i-excuse doon. So, bakit yung patubig? Ano to? Hindi pa ako lasing.
Mag-hi ka, may baby boy dito.
May
Pero totoo baby boy. Hindi ka salina. Pakita ka na.
nga, ba't ang
Baka
gwapo?
kakala nila kung sino baby boy.
Hi!
Hello.
Hi po.
Hi po.
Malaki na siya ngayon, saka yung boses niya malaki na ngayon. Pero
Dinata na.
nung una natin siya na-discover dito sa pamilya. Ay, salamat.
Siya ba yung kaklase ng anak ni Myra?
Oo, ni Martin.
Ay, birthday ni Martin ngayon, 18.
Oo nga.
Happy birthday.
Oo. Nagpunta sila doon. Nilakayan kagabi.
Okay.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Si Doc Matt, tahimik lang siya, pero sabi niya, nasa na uli ba yung topic natin?
Oo. Sabi niya, lalagpas na naman tayo sa isang oras.
Bago natin makalimutan, magpasalamat muna tayo sa mga nanood ng ating mga live last time, yung last episode natin. Thank you very much sa mga support, di ba, sa ating mga ka-sisters. Thank you.
And that's a very good point, no, Doc Matt, that you mentioned that because, sisters, I think we owe this to you. Thank you so much. Maraming salamat po. Marami tayong good news ngayon sa ating mga social media accounts and our metrics. We have gained so many parang additional views from the last episode that we had. There were significantly an increase that we gained around 346 views from the snippets that we had for last time. And one good news, we also have our TikTok.
May TikTok. Ano na tayo?
Wow!
We
Account.
also have
Di
our
ba?
TikTok account.
Gen Z na tayo, Gen Z.
Salamat
Oo.
kay George at sa
Thank
kanyang
you, George.
Mag-abang kayo kasi magkakaroon na rin kami ng Telegram at saka Grindr.
Oh.
Lahat na ng social media, platforms,
Platforms.
papasukin. Yeah. Pero yun,
Tsaka
no?
siguro yung mga ka-sisters natin na nag-watch ngayon or gustong sa atin o makipagkwentuhan, mag-message lang kayo dyan
Yes, we
kung ano
encourage
yung
that.
gusto nyo. Yes. Kasi medyo nakita ko, na naman online tapos pinag-share na naman niya yung live natin dun sa group chat din namin. So, yan.
Kasi I think whenever we choose a topic, it's something that we all agree, no? For our sisters, especially for those who have parang supported us from the very first time, I think we were able to share that with them before na even before we discuss any topic, we talk about it amongst ourselves, and these are topics that are relevant. And hopefully timely naman din. As much as possible, we want to make it timely. But the relevance is always there. Like for example, now it's the month of May. Dito rin yung Labor Day, and it's always good to talk about yung mga kilusang Mayo Uno, ganyan. Hindi, pero it's really more on the workforce. Ano ba yung mga challenges natin? Paano kayo nag-create ng biodata nyo or resume nyo or curriculum vitae nyo?
Oo.
Kasi it also evolves. Kasi before, yun nga, huy, may biodata ka na ba? Nung fresh grad ka, hanggang, uy, anong bayad dito? Resume ka na tawag doon. Ay, resume para medyo angat ka. Hoy, hindi, no? Curriculum vitae, ganyan. O, hindi, CV, mga ganyan, para sounding cool. Pero ano-ano ba yung mga contents noon? Ano ba yung, has it evolved na from before na you have very minimal experiences na ililista to now na ang qualifications mo with the seminars attended and everything, nakalista rin ba yan sa iyong portfolio? And then, the actual work, what are the challenges that you cried? Parang, sabi nga nila, iniyakan before na ngayon, hindi naman tinatawanan, pero you can easily brush it off, ganyan. Di ba? Tapos, dun sa part na, I think this is not applicable for Raquel, pero yung kunwari, it's applicable for me. Kasi nakapang 7 na ako na companies eh.
Si Julie rin siguro.
Diba? Oo, and for kasi I don't want to speak on their behalf.
Oo.
Pero I think it's also applicable to most of our sisters as well. So maybe we can start off with, naalala niyo pa ba kung ano yung content ng unang-una yung biodata? At ano yung kinoconsider nyo na ilagay doon?
Parang
And how it evolved from that simple biodata to now, ano na ang content niya?
Parang ano lang yan, yung picture mo doon sa Comelec nung election. Kukumpara mo yung ngayon, yung mas nag-trending pa yun nung May 12 eh. No? Hindi na yung ink sa daliri, nag-trending nun yung yung picture mo. Di kasi bumoto. Kasi nakapaskil sa labas ng presinto yung mga pictures. Yun yung simula nung nagparehistro ako. Yun yung picture ko. So siguro, pisahan ko na lang. Kung naalala ko noon, yung, para kasing meron ako na-attend na parang seminar or may nabasa ako during that time. Parang hindi yata okay na yung grad pic mo yung gagawin mong picture.
Correct.
Ayan.
Pero,
So,
you consider putting your picture there.
yes,
Okay,
oo,
okay.
totoo. Tapos, yung experience ko during that time, nung unang nag-apply ako sa ibang company. At kasi sa totoo lang, nung start, ayoko talagang sa co-op mag-work.
Nabanggit mo yan noon.
Ngayon, yung kung saan yung mga barkadahan mo nung college, saan sila
Yung
nag-a-apply. Oo, sama-sama ka.
Nakapila.
So, parang ganun din. Yung parang nag-enroll ka sa school. So, ganun pa din. Pero ako from the very beginning nung pag-apply sa work, hindi ako nakaano doon sa malaking company. Di ba noon, parang ganun eh. Even nung nag-college, parang yun yung dapat para in ka, dapat sa ganitong ka, mag-work or ganyan. So, parang sa akin naman noon, pwede bang magbanggit ng company?
Oo naman, I think, yeah.
Okay naman, no?
Or at least the industry that they are part
Okay,
of.
okay. Yung isa kong na-applyan na nag-interview, ay, puro pala sa gamot. Pati yung isa sa gamot.
Kasi gamot?
Pharmaceutical. Pero siyempre sa accounting. Say, accounting graduate
Department,
ako. Accounting department. So, naalala ko yung sagutan ko doon sa parang parang naisip ko kayo, para pang Miss Universe. So, parang ang sagot ko doon, yung para bang too good to be true siguro. Kasi parang napaka, ko noon napaka idealistic siguro yung masasabi mo noon na, nung during that time na nag-apply ako. So, yun, na-experience ko naman siya, pero siguro yung talagang tedious na hindi ko naman na-experience yung talagang tedious na, diba, may mga story before na parang hirap na hirap kumuha ng work, ganyan. Hindi na ako nabigyan ng ganong chance kasi feeling ko, hinarang lahat ng tatay ko yung application. Kasi noon wala pang cellphone, landline lang.
Yeah.
So kapag tatawagan ka after ng interview, sabi niya, ay, nalaman ko na lang, kumbaga parang sinagot ng tatay ko, tapos sinasabi niya, meron akong work.
Hinarang.
Hinarang! Ang galing talaga.
Wala kang no choice.
Wala akong no choice.
Naghang.
Naghang, no? Tama?
Hinarang ni tatay.
Nakarang yung net nila.
Nagkami.
Nakaya ko siya sabi. Anyway, sa'yo, Julie, ano nangyari naman sa pag-apply mo?
Nung sa akin noon.
Ano ba yan?
Nagpaparamdam sila. Ay, before natin i-continue pala, kasi baka sabihin nila minomonopolize natin yung Labor Day being May. Just information, hindi buong mundo sa May nagse-celebrate ng Labor Day.
Correct.
In Canada, September. And then I think Australia is ganito. Second Monday in March, May and October, depending on the state. Sa UK and Ireland, first Monday after May 1st. So, iba-iba. Sa akin, pagka-graduate ko, kasi yung field ko, di ba, very technical. We work on machines, tapos yung for testing ng mga sample. Nag-start muna ako sa mga maliliit na clinic, tsaka freestanding na laboratory. Kasi wala pang opening nun sa mga hospital. Nag-apply ako sa iba-ibang hospital, pero ang dami kasi naming pumasa nun sa board exam, 7,000. So, biruin mo, 7,000 na pumasa within the Philippines. Tapos sila lang ang laboratory. So, yan. So, nag-freestanding laboratory muna ako. Ganun din yung biodata. By that time naman, wala pa masyadong malalagay sa biodata kasi, di ba, wala pang experience. So, more on mga natanda na training, tsaka more on mga natanda na training, tsaka mga reference, mga staff mo sa hospital na pinag-internan mo. Tapos, after March. So, I graduated early April. By October, tinawagan ako ng hospital na pinag-internan ko. So, nakatulong din na kilala ka na. Andun yung Padrino system in a way. So, absorb ako dun sa hospital na yun. And then 6 years ako nag-practice doon before ako umalis ng Philippines.
Tagal mo rin pala doon, no? 6 years?
Ang cycle ko with every career, 6 years, 6 years. 6 years doon, tapos humanitarian aid. Then,
parang
nice.
Pa.
May pattern? May pattern pa?
May pattern. Ayan ako. Pinabasa na tayo ni Sir Matthew.
6 lang ang ko yung love.
Pero thank you kay Julie kasi yung sister ko na medtech din, na-handle ni Julie. Siya yung nag-mentor. So, hindi ko rin makakalimutan yun.
Like, when you say nag-handle, nag-teacher ka?
Naging intern namin.
Intern.
Kumbaga,
kasi doon siya nag-training sa pinag-workan ko.
Hindi mo naman pinagtimpla lang ng kape or pinakuha ng photocopy, ano.
Ay, pinagawa ko, pinag-cotton balls.
Oh,
Oo nga, kasi medtech.
buti hindi mo ano yun yung egret? No, not, what do you call that? Yung swan origami, gano'n.
Origami. Walang ganun.
Wala ba? Ayun, so,
Cottonology.
pero hindi. Julie, so di ba walang masyadong content? Pero do you still remember ano yung parang specific na laman nung ano mo? Parang may objective ka ba doon? Meron ba yung... Oo. Tapos
Ang
meron
mga
ba yung...
nilagay ko mga extracurriculars, like, yung mga position na hinandle ko nung nasa college ako, like, because it speaks of the leadership part, tsaka may extracurricular activity. Tapos sa academic naman, ha?
Hindi, sabi ko, naisip mo yon, which is very good naman. Ganyan.
Hindi, kasi di ba wala, kasi nga wala naman ako ilalagay doon. Ang ilalagay ko lang is, pwede niyo ako maging staff. Kasi doon sa pinag-workan ko, in a way, hindi lang kami fully na medtech. May mga activities kasi yung department. Like we do fundraising, gumagawa kami ng mga events. Kumbaga parang, kaya nagustuhan ko rin kasi nagagamit ko yung aking artistic side when I was practicing there. So, ipinattern ko yung resume ko in a way na, hindi nyo lang po ako magiging medtech, pwede nyo rin po ako gawing director kapag gumawa kayo ng concert or kayo ng beauty pageant, ganun. So, nilagay ko siya doon para makahikayat in a way. Tapos, and then, kilala din naman nila kasi ako doon kasi magbubuhat ako ng bangko. Out of 139 students na trainee nila on that year, ako yung top 1. So, nasa kanyang floor. So, kaya kilala naman nila ako. So, kumbaga parang, aside from the technical part, meron akong extracurricular part na maaasahan nila. Parang ganun yung ginawa ko na.
Kumbaga, dependability, reliability, and artistry. Ganyan.
Ganun.
Palakpakan tayo dyan.
Slow clap.
So,
pero meron akong tanong. Like, for example, I have a question for Raquel. No? Kasi si Raquel, she really hasn't had the opportunity to, parang, kailan mo last time in-update ang resume mo?
Ay, recently lang. Nung last...
nag-update ka?
Hindi kasi, dahil
Regular
nag-apply ako ng scholarship doon sa, women's, sa GWLN.
So, you have to update it and
yes,
show them yung parang portfolio mo has changed. And masasabi mo na significantly, it changed from the first time na nag-create ka ng biodata mo.
Kasi yung mga trainings, yun. Tapos siyempre, yung mga positions ko rin from...
Positions held, di ba?
So, yun. So, kaya rin siguro ako naging scholar kasi talagang sa co-op lang umikot yung career ko.
Actually, yun yung isang magandang bagay doon na sasabihin ko rin, no, na makikita doon sa yung changes doon sa may CV mo or portfolio mo, pero there's this level of continuity na, ito, nag-revolve ang mundo niya sa ganitong industry, which is a co-op, no? And for Julie's sake, ano naman, ano yung mga significant changes na nakita mo from the very first biodata that you have to kailan ka uli nag-update at ano yung significant changes na masasabi mo?
2 weeks ago.
Diba?
Kasi naman, kasi nga, ang nature of work ko na ngayon, I'm traveling. Like, per contract naman yung mga work ko with the lab ngayon. So, ang difference ngayon, kasi before, tali ako sa isang hospital or sa isang organization. Ngayon, I'm doing contract work with a laboratory, and at the same time, I'm doing per diem. Like, may pick up ako sa ibang laboratory. So right now, I have one na full-time na naka-contract ako. Tapos, I just finished 2 interviews. I'm onboarding na. And then I have another interview sa Tuesday. So meron akong 3 magiging per diem, which is like 1 shift a month, 2 shifts a month. So, depende sa ano. So, before, aside from, kasi before, since wala ka pang masyado experience, nandun yung mga achievement mo.
Yes.
Yung characteristics mo, tsaka traits mo as a student or as a potential employee. Ngayon, it's very technical na in my part. So, ang labanan namin as medtech is, anong mga machine ang na-handle mo? Anong part ng laboratory ka pwedeng gumalaw? Kasi ang iniisip kasi ngayon is parang dapat holistic ka na ang kapag nilagay
End to end.
Yes. Pag nilagay ka sa laboratory, kahit saan pwede ka ilagay. Tapos madali kang i-train. 2 days, 3 days, tapos ka na i-train. Signed up ka na, you can work by yourself. So yun yung very different na ngayon. Kasi since alam ko na yung ginagawa sa laboratory, I've been practicing for 21 years, is parang, ang inaalam ko na lang ngayon, if I have a new laboratory na pinupuntahan, yung protocols nila, tsaka yung dynamics with the working, saan tatagpuin yung ganito, paano ginagawa ganito, ano yung rules nyo with stuff ng mga technical part. Pero the same thing, like if I work with this machine in one facility and they have the same machine in another facility, sometimes kahit nakapikit na mata mo, alam mo na kung ano pipindutin mo. So yun yung parang nag-evolve na, very technical na ngayon with anong mga machines ang kayang gamitin. And at the same time, nilalagay ko pa rin doon yung part with the human aspect part. Kasi eventually, what I'm planning is kapag nag-stop na ako mag-travel or per contract, if I'll be another full-time position sa lab, I'll do again supervisor or managerial stuff. So, nilalagay ko pa sa resume ko yung people aspect. Like, I'm trained with this. Like, mga compliance.
Leadership, management. Or even financials of things because you put up laboratories, diba?
Help set up sometimes. Yun yung difference dun sa Doctors Without Borders. Kasi dun talaga nagsiset up lang. Ngayon, madalang na ako nagsiset up. Ano lang agad, hands-on.
Hindi kasi sa akin, ang experience ko, like for example, when I first created my biodata, ang laman lang talaga, iniisip ko pa, ano ba kayo pwede ko ilagay dito? Wala naman talaga ako ilalagay dito. So ilagay mo kung saan ka nag-OJT, sige, ilagay mo kung saan ka nag-graduate, ultimong elementary, high school, at saka college, ilalagay ko doon. Na parang irrelevant for most people, for most companies, pero sabi kong ganun, wala akong mailalagay kasi parang one sheet of paper and it still look empty na parang, ano ilalagay ko dito? Versus now na, and yes, I also have a picture there. Kasi before, may picture din naman ako. Tinanong ko pa yon. Ano yun? Hindi photo me eh.
Ang tagal na niyan.
Hindi. Ano yun? Yung mga parang great image. Nagpag-great image pa ako noon. So, hindi naman sponsored ng great image to. Pero doon ako unang So, parang, yung ipapatong nila yung mukha mo sa naka-Amerikana, yung gano'n. So, andito pa ba tayo? Parang nag-freeze sila. But anyway, isa yon. Tapos, meron din akong objective, and it's really to be part of parang a respected organization with ganitong industry, whatever. To apply my learnings from, kasi computer science yung natapos ko, of computer science, MA. And then eventually, the first job that I had was with the BPO and it revolved around that. And dun lang talaga nag-circulate yung buong career ko sa BPO industry. And now, I can say that my CV, and it really looks like a portfolio now na what types of industries I've handled, managed, supervised, led, and not only dun sa skills but more on doon din sa successes, the wins. It's also very number driven. Kumbaga CV pa lang, it already shows it's driven by numbers, like for example how many seats, what's the biggest team that I've handled, what's the responsibility scope, and most of the time we especially for our sisters, for our viewers and audience, maybe you can nitpick also from some of the TikTok, YouTube na kung paano mag-create ng biodata o ng CV, ng resume, whatever you call it. It's a first impression type of what type of person, employee, career person you are. If dun pa lang sa, kumbaga sa first impression, ang unang titingnan kagad ng mga tao, ng mga kumpanya, is yung CV mo, yung biodata mo, 'di ba? And yung content. How well do you present yourself in a piece of paper? Even before they would even be parang interested, will I even share my time to this
Yeah.
person, or merong ibang mga tao na maganda yung pagkakapresent nila, papel pa lang. So that's my advice for our sisters who are starting in life na nagke-create pa lang ng CV. It's very important that you put details there. How big was the team? If there are any monetary correspondences to the actions that you took in the past, it's also good to indicate that there. Like for example, if you handled compliance, what are the breaches that you were able to avoid and amounting to how much? In dollars or in peso or whatnot. Kasi it shows also that level of um, keenness that you have when it comes dun sa professional prowess that you have, or understanding that you have. So ganun na nag-evolve yung yung pag-create pa lang ng CV, and knowing that I'm also a hiring manager for some of the companies that I've been part of, yun din kasi yung tinitingnan ko.
So, naiba na yung perspective.
Ibang-iba na. So totally iba-iba na talaga yung kumbaga, I will make my CV look appealing based on the things that I also require as a hiring manager for a particular organization. Yung ganon. No? And those are the things na, sige, i-adjust ko to, lalagyan ko pa to ng numbers, lalagyan ko. And still, kasya siya sa isa-dalawang pages. Yon. So, yung mga ganon ba? So, kumbaga, before, ang basis ko is, mas makapal ang CV mo, mas appealing siya. But, technically, mas appealing sa akin yung if you can summarize it in one page, pero put all the meaty stuff in a page, one pager, and still, it will be parang appealing to the role that you're applying for, specific job that you're applying for, and it really changed, no? It really evolved na kung pwede ko itong gawing mas brief, mas concise, mas clear, then better. Without losing the context of who am I and why I deserve to be part of your organization and why I deserve to be paid by this much. Yung mga ganun.
Ako naman, interested ako kay Sir Matthew. Sa teacher.
Kasi nasa academe siya di ba?
Parang hindi ka ready sumagot.
Pagka-graduate mo ba, naisipan mo, dito na lang din ako sa school na ito magtatrabaho kasi dito naman ako, nasa education naman yung linya ko.
Ayaw nga.
Yun, naalala ko lang din kasi. Ha?
Nag-public school ka ba agad?
Ay, no. Ang first work experience ko din ay call center industry. So, I stayed there for 2 years sa Makati. So imagine, Marikina ang biyahe ko tapos to Makati. Tapos natutulog pa ako doon kasi kunyari imagine na 2 a.m. ang work ko, pero kailangan kong habulin ng MRT ng 9:45 kasi kailangan ko dong makasakay ng MRT. Yung mga parang umpisa pa lang talaga. Tapos after 6 months ma-regularize, nagta-taxi na ako. Sabi ko, gagastusin ko na lang para hindi na makatulog na. Kasi matutulog ka doon sa break room binatawag silang break room So isa rin ako doon sa katulad din ni Mama Pen, isa din ako doon sa mga nag-start ng call center industry dito sa Philippines way back 2003. So yung taon na yun yung mga ang hirap pang pumasok, 'di ba Mama Pen? Alam mo 'yon, 'di ba? Mahirap pang pumasok doon sa mundo na yon, na tipong may interview, nasaksakan ng daming interview, tapos merong pang written exam, tapos merong pang mga parang beauty pageant yung question and answer portion na kailangan, 'di ba, graduate dapat, tapos magaling ka magsalita and everything, yung mga ganung bagay. So going back, naalala ko yung sa resume, yun yung maganda sa pag nai-inform at na-orient ng mabuti ang mga bata, ang mga estudyante. Kasi, 'di ba, hindi siya sinasabi kung paano siya gagawin. nung fourth year high school, fourth year college, okay, fifth year college, di ba yung panahon natin, para sige, graduate na, pero minimal lang talaga yung magkakandak ng seminar or training para magkaroon ng parang pre-employment training para kumbaga bago kayo graduate, ito na i-expect nyo sa totoong buhay. So, yun yung maganda dapat na lagi nating ini-emphasize ngayon. Kung paano gumawa. Yun, yung technical aspect, nandun pa rin yun eh. Yung writing, kung paano siya isusulat, paano siya gagawin. So, mga bata kasi ngayon, wala nang interest sa ganyang bagay. Kasi di ba one click, ganun lang gusto nila eh. Pero pag aayusin mo mabuti, hindi nila masyadong pamagamay. So, tatsagain mo na lang talaga. So, regarding sa resume naman, yung sa akin, simple lang din yon before. Tapos, medyo nagkaroon din ng laman kasi syempre, di ba, fresh graduate. Ang kinaganda doon sa course namin, medyo marami-rami ako mga ina-attendan na mga seminar and workshop. So, college pa lang ako, nasanay na ako sa mga seminars and workshops. So, pagdating nung mga panahon na, eto, nasa academe, so medyo may gamay-gamay ko na ito magiging kalakaran sa mga ganyan. So, syempre, ganun din, nag-i-improve yung mga laman. So, regarding kung kailan ko last na-update, yearly rin kasi kami nag-a-update. So, yearly ko rin siya ina-update. So, once a year, nag-a-update kami ng aming mga CV, kumbaga. O kaya meron kami tinatawag sa public yung PDS, yung Personal Data Sheet na tinatawag. So may ganun sa public eh. So yun, yearly ina-update ano yung mga recent mong inatenan, nakalagay doon. Tapos yung mga licenses, nakalagay din doon. Kung updated, medyo mahigpit sila sa ganun mga bagay. So yun. So,
Doc?
Ano yun?
CPD units ba kayo?
Sorry?
CPD, Continuing Professional Development?
As of now, para sa ano ng mga hindi pa siya i-credit until this December. So magiging mahigpit ata by next year. Okay. So medyo open pa na hindi pa iyan yung mga CPD. Pero yun nga yung mahirap eh kasi di ba parang mas dagdag gastos pa lalo sa mga empleyado kung a-attend pa ng mga seminars tapos kailangan naka sa PRC to mga agency, direct na meron silang contact, di ba? Registered sila under the PRC para ma-consider yung seminar. So, yun yung ginagawa ngayon.
Out of pocket niyo yung mga CPD na yun? Courses?
Yes. Out of the pocket. Pero sa mundo namin, sa public, medyo sinasagot naman kasi credited naman siya. Basta under ka ng Department of Education, so yung mga seminars tsaka yun, naka-register naman, naka-anchor naman doon sa criteria ng PRC. So, OX na siya.
Credited.
So, ilang pages na yung CV mo? Libro na ba?
Yung iba, hindi ko na sinasama kasi may ruling din kasi na, may ruling na dapat 5 years yung tanda ng mga seminars tsaka mga workshops mo. So, beyond 5 years, out na siya. Hindi na siya pwedeng obsolete na, kumbaga. So, yun. So, natanggal na. So, ngayon, kung ilang pages, yung last kong ginawa, nasa 8.
Ang sakit sa ulo, ang haba.
Alam mo?
Ay, siguro makonek natin yan. Si Menchi, actually yung ni Menchi, sabi niya kanina, wow, congrats Julie, at least hindi 6 months. Parang contractual lang, sabi niya. Kasi nung nagsabi si Julie, yung
na 6 years sa kanya.
Ito naman
actually, contractual ako noon. Nire-renew lang every year.
Oo.
Umalis ako, hindi pa ako permanent. I was supposed
kasi diba sa government ganun eh.
Oo. Ganun. Ako nag-umpisa, to tell you honestly, diba? After nung call center industry ko, di ba nagpunta na ako ng academe, nag-guidance counselor muna ako sa isang college school sa Antipolo, 1 sem. After that, I just realized na siguro I'm into teaching, nasa teaching din sila mami, yung family. So, kumuha ko ng units. Yun yung maganda dun sa nakuha ko. Yun, by the way, yun pala masya-share ko sa ating mga ka-sisters. May mga madadaling paraan para maging double degree. For example, on my case, psychology graduate, 4-year course. Pero kinuha ko lang ang aking teaching units na supposedly dapat siya 1 year. Madami akong education subjects related sa curriculum namin. So, goods yun. So, ang nangyari, madaming kinredit. So, instead of taking up 2 semesters, I just took it up for 1 sem. Tapos sa loob ng 1 sem, nag-exam na ako. Tapos yun, tuloy-tuloy na. So, di ba so meron akong psychology field na undergrad. Tapos, another degree ko for teaching, yung education. Na pwede pala na kumuha ka ng ibang course, tapos second degree mo education, di 2 degree ang hawak mo.
Pero syempre, no, yun yung mga bagay na magandang mga technique, di ba? At hindi pinagbabawal na technique. And
yes.
Those, and I think it's not just, it's being practical. Kasi, frugality in time management. Kasi ang iksi lang naman din ang panahon na ilalagi natin dito to learn everything that we have. And if
Totoo.
to avoid redundancy, na-take ko naman din yan, kung meron naman relevant courses related to this, pwede na nga naman. That's a very good point. Very good point.
Totoo.
Kasi like for example, yung sa akin naman siguro ang isang bagay na ma-share ko din dito is, 'di ba, aside from the level of details that we share dun sa mismong CV, 'di ba magpo-progress ka dun sa interview process, nabanggit nga ni Doc Matt kanina, no, being part dun sa call center industry, meron kang interview, ilang level of interviews, meron ka pang actual na parang role play that you're going to portray, no, dun sa unang-una kong company, and sa people support yun, no, that's 2003 also. Bibigyan ka lang ng scenario, tapos biglang mag-go out of their way sila dun sa scenario that was given. Siguro ang isang bagay na sinasabi nila, we are one of the very lucky few, and I think it was 3% or 5% passing rate lang ang hinahire nila.
Totoo.
So, not because you pass, you're guaranteed to be part of the organization. So, they're only going to take the top 3-5% of all the passing applicants. Ganyan. Not all applicants, just the passing ones. Ganyan. So, parang medyo haggard talaga doon. Tapos, medyo, dahil 2003 yon, medyo kabubukas-bukas pa lang, wala pang kamuang masyado yung mga tao sa BPO industry noon.
Correct.
Ang sabi nung iba kong kamag-anak, nako, fly by night yan. Ganto, nagtapos ka. Oo, meron pa nagsabi sa akin, nagtapos ka ng pag-aaral, magiging telephone operator ka lang pala. Parang,
Totoo.
ganyan. Pero, ang sa akin po kasi, sabi po, ito po yung susweldo eh. So, okay po ako dito, ganyan. Until, I found myself having a career in the same industry, and I'm very blessed. I'm very thankful na yun yung napasok ko nga. And I guess, bino mo 8 pages yung CV ni Doc Matt.
Oo nga.
Mas marami pang pages yun kesa dun sa ibang mga kiddie books, children's books na.
Sabi sana akong book, pero wag na lang.
Ano?
Wala, not political tayo. Ay, nako.
Pero ayun, so I think those to a portion of our conversation today, to just give closure to that, it's always good to present yourself best dun pa lang sa first step, and that is creating your CV. That is your personal identification, telling your organization or the organization that you're applying for or applying to na, hey, this is my personality, this is my level of expertise, these are my qualifications. And if you're going to parang bash it with your requirements, I'm either overqualified or equally qualified to take the role that you have posted. No? Yung mga ganun. So, first steps first, no? And yun yung, sino nga ba tong taong to? At dun pa lang makikita yon. Now, let's talk about, meron ba kayong mga unforgettable the experiences na banggit ni Raquel kanina na parang naiyakan mo dati, ngayon, maaaring hindi mo tinatawanan, pero alam mo na kung paano siya i-manage ng better. So, meron ba kayong mga bagay na naaalala yung naiyak kayo talaga dun sa sa experience na hindi ko na to kaya, ayoko, ganun. Ako siguro sa akin mababaw. Mababaw yung sa akin. Kasi ang alam kong
Si
unang-una,
Menchi, siguro marami yan.
ang unang-una kong iniyakan
Ay,
noon,
parang hindi naman to siguro umiyak si Menchi.
ang unang-una kong iniyakan noon, kasi BPO was um, 24/7 most of the time. Yung service window. And if not, graveyard shift. Kasi North American clients normally yung kinikater. So, hindi nga 24/7 to, pero yung napuntahan ko naman American company. So, ang tendency is panggabi yung trabaho dito. At first time kong ma-experience na magtrabaho ng Christmas Eve at saka New Year's Eve
Yes,
sa office. Na parang,
I
huh?
know.
Papasok ako?
Pumasok ka.
Pumasok ako ng Christmas Eve. Oo. Tapos,
Totoo.
nung pumasok ako ng Christmas Eve, nagpa-raffle sila. O sige, meron pwede mga uwi. Ganyan. Sino yung gustong umuwi? Ganyan, ni-raffle. Tapos, hindi ako nanalo sa ni-raffle. Ang ginawa ko, binili ko yung isa sa mga nanalo. Tapos sabi, magkano bibili? Sabi ko, 500. Naalala ko pa yung presyo. So, binili ko yun. Regardless kung gaano kababa yung sweldo ko noon. Pero, ito, naalala ko. Kasi nag-Christmas Eve ako sa office eh. Pero yung New Year's Eve, hindi ko na kinaya. Nagpa-raffle sila ulit. Doon ako bumili. Ngayon, nung binili ko yun, na-realize ko nga na parang, ay, nako, ayoko na ng ganito. Tapos, nung nabili ko nga, hindi pa uwi na ako. Ganyan. Sabi ko doon sa driver ng taxi, Kuya, pakihabol natin yung medianoche, ganto. Tapos binilisan na Kuya driver, bilis siya magmaneho. Sabi ko, Kuya, gusto ko makaabot ng buhay.
Killer mo.
Sabi ko, Kuya, bilisan natin, pero gusto ko buhay ako narating ng bahay.
Buhay ka naman.
Pero ayun, buhay pa naman ako ngayon. And siguro yun yung isang bagay na maaaring mababaw, pero it was the world to me that time. It was a first, and it was definitely very challenging for me. Now, siguro the maturity level has really evolved so much. It has developed fully na papasukin mo ko whether it's my birthday, meron pa rin kagat ng Christmas Eve at saka New Year's Eve. And that's the reason why I really worked hard enough to earn my right na, okay, I have the option now to choose. I'm going to take either the New Year's or not end, or the Christmas Eve. Unlike before, I don't have full, parang no. Ngayon, I can compromise. Not because of anything, but because, kasi ako din naman yung gagawa ng paraan nun eh.
Oo.
Huwag kayong mag-alala. I just have to gain the confidence of my clients, of my seniors, of my executives, my stakeholders, and tell them that, hey, I have prepared everything. It's already here's the lay of the land. This is how it will work. For whatever contingency, this is also the process that we have. So as far as business continuity is concerned, everything is covered. So magigain ko na yon. Tapos, so now can I take especially when I was in Iloilo. When I was in Iloilo, before akong lumipad dito, nabigyan ako ng option to work at home during the holidays.
Okay.
Working, but at home. So I will adjust my lunch break to 12 a.m. to 1 a.m. So I can celebrate either the Christmas Eve or the New Year's Eve in my own parang convenient time. Basta, I also make sure na ganun. But siguro, to summarize what I'm trying to say is that there was a very big transformation, development, learning, and everything. That level of maturity that I've had, na sabi ko nga, mababaw, pero malaki yung impact. Mababaw na tingnan na Christmas Eve lang to, New Year's Eve lang to, birthday lang to ng nanay mo, birthday lang tong matalik, or very special dinner date to. But you have to miss it because of your responsibility at work. But now, I have learned to manage not only the work itself, but my own emotional stressors as well. So, hindi na ako ganun ka fully stressed kasi alam ko na darating to. So even before it happens or even before it comes to that date, na-set ko na. Alam ko na. Alam ko na kung paano ko to ibebenta sa stakeholders ko. Alam ko na kung paano ko to i-cover. Alam ko na kapag, when the sky is falling, alam ko na rin kung paano siya mako-cover up. Paano siya ma-revive or whatnot. So, yun yung mga bagay na siguro malaking transformation sa akin. Sa inyo, ano yung isang bagay na iniyakan nyo? Kasi yun, iniyak ko talaga yun. Ayoko magtrabaho ng New Year's Eve, ganun.
Same tayo, Mama Pen. Kasi ako din, yung first 2 years ko sa work, yung Christmas Eve tsaka New Year's Eve, yun. Kasi di ba may party kami dito sa bahay, lalo na kapag New Year's Eve, may party sa lubong ng bagong taon. Tapos iyahatid nila ako, nila daddy sa Makati. Tapos naiyak ako kasi hindi pa nag-uumpisa yung party, hinahatid na ako sa trabaho. So para pakiramdam ko, parang wala na naman hindi ako kasali. Tapos doon ko talaga na-realize na hindi talaga ako mag-a-abroad. Yun yung impact sa akin. Kasi naririnig ko yung putukan, tapos yung saya, tapos nandun ako sa trabaho, malayo sa pamilya. Yun talaga yung hanggang ngayon, hindi ko siya makalimutan. Lagi ko sinishare din yun na yun yung talaga nagturo sa akin na hindi ako mag-a-abroad, hindi ako magtatrabaho sa abroad kasi hindi ko kayang malayo sa pamilya. At thankful naman ako, pinakinggan ko din naman yung turo nung universe sa akin. Dahil syempre, ito, na yung time talaga with your parents, napakahalaga, 'di ba? Sandali lang yung buhay. So, parang pakiramdam ko siguro inadya din ng pagkakataon na dito lang talaga ako sa Philippines, malapit sa pamilya, i-maximize ko yung time ko with mommy and daddy, yung mga ganyang pagkakataon. Tapos naalala ko, natatawa ko, Julie tsaka Raquel, remember, kapag magyayaya tayo nung lakad, sasabihin nyo sa akin, ano ba yan? Hindi ka naman available kasi, di ba yung weekend, sabi ko may pasok ako, hindi ako pwede, manonood tayo ng sine, remember? Sa Santa Lucia at magkikita tayo sa Expressions ng Santa Lucia. Tapos sasabihin ko, hindi ako pwede ng Saturday, may pasok, o kaya matutulog pa ako. Tapos sasabihin nyo, ano ba yan? Weekend na nga di ba? Ganun yung call center world dati, di ba? Yung hindi mo alam, shifting kasi schedule ko nun Every month, nag-change. Tapos, nag-change din yung mga off. Minsan, madalas weekday off, tapos minsan lang yung weekend. So bigla ko naalala yun na nahihirapan kayo sa akin, di ba, sa schedule, na manonood tayo na sine, tapos hindi ka pwede. Bigla ko lang naalala.
So naiyak ka dun?
Oo naman, syempre. Gusto ko kasi syempre yung, di ba yung panahon natin na natatandaan niyo yun, yung tayo, tapos gano'n tayo naging ka-close, di ba? After graduation, magkikita pa tayo, manonood lang tayo ng sine, magkukwentuhan, kakain, okay na tayo, di ba? Tapos, yun, syempre hindi ko mabigay yung oras, di ba? So, yun, inauno ko rin. Mahalaga kasi sa akin yung time with family, di ba? Kayo, tinuri kong pamilya. So, yun, mahalaga sa akin yun.
By the way, kapag off kayo, do you answer work calls or emails?
Yes.
Off the clock? Talaga?
Ako, I do. I do because one thing, ang instruction ko lang naman palagi kasi is, or my rule is, if the sky is falling, then it's okay, no? So, I know that they'll be calling me because the sky is falling. Kaya kapag kunwari, hindi ito nagfo-fall under that category na, hey, hindi pa to pang critical level and yet you called me.
Nakaalaman tayo sa Lunes.
Hindi kumbaga, okay yung ganito. So, nagkakaroon din ng konting, coaching, feedback giving.
Ay, that's nice.
Kasi parang, Nick, di ba meron tayong ganito na pag-usapan natin to last time? So, yung mga ganito, so if it will not go beyond this level, don't call me yet. Kasi I'm also enjoying my free time.
Tama din. Ako din. As much as possible, ayoko. Pero kung nabasa mo naman na urgent, kung kaya ko naman sasagutin ko na. Nympha, naalala ko si Nympha pag nanonood tayong sine. I miss Nympha.
Oo nga, magkita-kita na daw.
Hindi, may isa pa kasi, depende kung sino. Kapag
Totoo.
major stakeholder ko,
Ah.
kapag major stakeholder ko, yun. Why? Because one is, there's a possibility that my credibility or integrity is at stake as well. Na, kasi I'm the one who gave them that level of confidence eh. Na, hey, everything is covered, pero sila mismo, why are they calling me? Maybe that level of security or confidence that I shared with them is not at par dun sa actual na nakikita nila. Kasi they're calling me eh.
Mm.
So I have to answer na, hey, Fen, where are you? Hey, di ba naka-leave ako ngayon? Hindi kasi di ba sinabi mo sa amin, ito covered by ganito, covered by ganyan. Pero they're not here. How come they're not there? I just spoke with them even before I took my leave. So, there's a possibility of credibility and integrity breach na mai-impact yun sa akin. Kasi ako yung nagbenta sa kanila na, hey, I'll be out. Ganito, don't worry. Kasi covered by ganito, covered by... May POCs lahat. Merong, kumbaga, level of parang may timeline, may ganyan. Everything will be delivered o ganito. And yet, pangit, then, ayun. Or sometimes, kasi when life happens, then, it is what it is, then you talk about it the following day.
Mm.
Sometimes I choose not to answer, and then I'm on leave, and then let's just talk about that when I get back. Anyway, hindi pa naman tayo mamamatay come that time. At kung mamatay man ako, bago dumating yung araw ng pagpasok ko, sinong kakausapin nyo? Yung bangkay ko. Oh.
That's funny. Sa akin naman, very opposite when I was working sa Philippines compared sa nandito na ako. Kasi nung sa Philippines, since bago sa career, and being a people pleaser, yes lang ng yes, walang complain. Go. Yung tipong magjo-duty ka ng hanggang alas 11 ng gabi, alas 10. So, pasok ka na naman ng 6 in the morning. Parang ganon. Parang, okay. Ang iniyakan ko when I was working in the Philippines, hindi siya sa laboratory mismo related, but with our extracurriculars. Kasi we were doing fundraising. This was about around 2008, 2009. This was when my mom was diagnosed. And then, sinabihan ko na yung parang team leader with the event. Kasi, for the 6 years na nandun ako, every year ako yung nagde-direct nung event for the fundraising.
Mm-hmm.
Like, nagko-coordinate ko sino mga magpe-perform, I'll make the script, I'll troubleshoot kung anong mga kailangan sa audio, video, ganun-ganun. Pero on that year, since alam kong operahan si mama and she needs care, ako lang kasi yung medical na nasa Pilipinas na si ate nasa overseas pa by that time. So sinabihan ko na yung doctor na focal person na I'll step back for a while, and then na-train ko naman yung isang co-staff namin, and alam niya naman kung paano yung pasikot-sikot, siya magiging focal person. Kumbaga siya yung magiging director, ako magiging assistant for that person. So, akala ko okay na. Nung first time na nag-meeting with all the committee, sa akin lahat din na-direct ng questions.
Mm-hmm.
Considering na, sinabi ko verbally na, magpa-back out muna ako.
You'll be stepping back, yeah.
Oh. Sa kanya may direct yung question. Ako pa rin pinuprint niya lahat ng mga tanong tsaka lahat ng mga pangungutya nasa akin. And me being the yung hindi pa ako bata pa rin and hindi pa ganun ka-wise, nag-shutdown ako, which is may strong negative aspect na part of me, nag-shutdown lang na hindi na ako nagsalita. Talak ng talak, everyone magtatanong, ganun lang or ganun lang. And sinabihan ako nung head ng department na there's a lot of things you need to grow up on.
Ay!
Yes.
Ganyan.
So yun yung iniyakan ko by that time. Kasi sabi ko na, parang part of me was nagsaself-pity na sinabi ko naman na ganyan, na hindi ko kaya ngayon, and inaalaga ko si mama, nagma-masters pa ako noon, and then sa ko lalagay yung katawan ko. Parang ganon, yung mga bosses na nag-ano sa akin. Pero it helped. Ngayon, that I'm here, maswerte here kasi parang there's a strong egalitarian principle na kung magko-call, kung merong on-call, lahat mag-on-call. Rotating yan. So, hindi lang parating ikaw or siya. Ang nangyari, in my case, malapit akong nakatira sa hospital ko before. Sinabihan ako na nagsabi na if in case ang on-call is someone is living 1 hour away and talagang mamamatay na yung pasyente at kailangan nyo talaga ng extra tao, pwede kayong tumawag sa akin.
Sa kanya, literal kasi talagang may mamamatay.
Kasi may mamatay talaga. So, pwede nyo ko tawagan. Nandiyan ako, tatakbo ko, di ba? Within 5 minutes, nasa hospital na ako. Pero kung kaya naman dumating ng tao at hindi naman talaga i-rush, hindi naman. So, in my 6 years working there sa hospital na yun, one time lang naman ako natawag. And
dahil may mamamatay ga.
Sobra. As in, ang daming gawa kasi talaga.
Ikaw kanina, ginoke mo lang yung mamamatay ka.
Oo.
Natawa pa ako no, kasi yung coworker ko, tawag siyang ganyan. Oh, hi, ganyan-ganyan. Hindi siya yung, come in, ganyan-ganyan. Hindi siya stress. Sabi niya lang, are you okay to come in? Ganun lang. Para may option akong hindi.
Pero hindi, it's a very good point that you shared. Nag-share ka na ba na sa'yo yung iniyakan mo?
Oo, hindi pa.
Mama, before you share yours, gusto ko lang mag-comment doon kasi sa sinabi ni Julie kanina na, ayun, nakalimutan ko tuloy yung sinabi niya. Yung dun sa may part na, yung people, pleaser.
Pleaser.
Right? Culturally, tayo as Filipinos, may pagka, no? Majority, 'di ba? Majority kasi tayo accommodating country, biro mo ilang bansa nga sumakop sa atin tapos hindi pa pang mabilisan, pang matagalan yung mga pagsakop sa atin. Salamat Espanya.
Welcome.
Diba? 300.
You can say.
Totoo. Ganun tayo ka people
Pwede mag-overstay.
Totoo.
Diba? So, kaya nga isang malaking challenge, and I think this is a good for our sisters who are working, starting to find their ground in the career, in the workplace, to always base it also ng ano ba yung requirement talaga sa work ko, yung job scope ko and responsibility.
Yes.
Now, if I have extra and I can do extra, then why not? Kasi hindi maganda talagang combination ang people pleaser as a worker and you have a boss who are manipulative and
micromanager
and micromanager and slave driver. So, kapag yun ang naging combination, makikita mo, 100 taon na yung lumipas, andun ka pa rin sa kumpanyang yun, and you're still doing the same thing and still being blamed for the same things. Until the time that you really can stand up on your, and not really, kasi you have to choose your battles. Hindi naman din lahat ng bagay, iiyakan mo, ipaglalaban mo, at para bang tooth and nail palagi ang labanan. Hindi naman. What I'm trying to say is, just understand what's your scope, level of scope, and that's when I diyan ko na-appreciate lalo na nagkaroon ako ng project management role. No, doon ko na-appreciate lalo yon na parang, so wait, this is already beyond the scope of work that we talked about, yung SOW, scope of work. So, hindi to i-cover, but if you want, I can create a different, timeline for this, a different budget perspective for this, so that we can talk about how many man hours ang required to perform this task. So, you're talking objectively. Hindi ka subjective na driven by emotion. And I think that's a very big factor of me, that matured over time. Yung before I'm really driven by emotion. Kung nasan yung mga kabarkada ko, work friends ko, dun ako. To the point na hindi ko susundin yung break schedule ko or lunch schedule ko dahil hindi kasi yung schedule ni Pam yung mga ganon. Doon ako sa schedule ni Pam. O kaya siya mismo yung, ano ka ba, break ko na.
I love how you said that. Kasi, again, hindi ko naman kayo nakatrabaho. Hindi ko kayo kilala as professionals. And remember pa ulit sinasabi na, it's nice to see you on your professional mode. Kasi kilala ko kayong mga palabiro. Like, I will not imagine third year, fourth year Stephen speaking about SOW. Like, kaya nakakatawa na parang, ay, nakakatawa naman. Na parang, ngayon, like now, at this point lang, like hearing this, parang, ay, kapag meron akong tanong professionally, I can pick up your brains na hindi ko lang alam mo yun, like, we talk about personal stuff sa buhay. Pero kahit magkakaiba tayong field, I know, pwede ko kayong lapitan like management styles or paano yung approach sa ganito, ganyan. Which is refreshing for me kasi nga, I've never imagined you or put you in that category of our relationship. So, nakakatuwa.
Yan yung dapat na-realize ng lahat ng ating mga ka-sisters na yung mga kinip nilang close friends, since magkakaiba naman ang mundo na ginagalawan professionally, mas maganda rin silang nakakausap in a professional aspect. Hindi lang yung pag nagkita-kita ay magchichikahan, magchichismisan. Kasi, di ba, usually ganun yung nangyayari. Pero kung makikita natin, itong realization na to, ito yung maganda kasi na, nga tama nga yung point ni Julie. Kasi yun talaga yung magandang pinupunto ng show natin tonight. Yun na meron tayo makakausap na mga naging close natin na hindi lang sa mga kalokohan, yung professional aspect din, magugulat ka, iba na siya magsalita, iba na yung pananaw niya sa buhay. So yun yung sana ito na yung midlife na tinatawag natin.
Nakatawa.
So, babalik ako. Meron ko naman naiyak ka na sa trabaho mo.
Oo nga.
Hindi. And kumbaga, yung naiyak ka noon, na ngayon, ay hindi ko na yun iiyakan.
Kasi siguro yung noon, pero parang nung nag-iisip nga ako kanina, parang parehas yung yung reason behind. Yung kumbaga mas malalim na reason. Magkaiba lang ng scenario dahil siguro yung kumbaga iba yung responsibilities ko before nung nag-uumpisa ako compared now. So kung ngayon, kung nung nag-i-start ako, kasi ako nung sa co-op frontliner. Wala yung una-una, iyak ko talaga. Pero sabi nga nila, parang yung sa pusa, yung buhay ng pusa. Pagka nakapitong iyak ka na dyan, magiging batikang ka na dyan. Frontliner ako noon sa co-op. So, ako yung, kumbaga, yung pinag-i-inquiran, ganyan. Parang mayroong one time na ang nangyari doon sa member, ako yung kumbaga, parang pinaraan niya sa akin. Pero hindi ako yung department na dapat gumawa. So, kinorstro ko naman sa department, doon sa tamang tao.
Pero dahil ikaw ang humarap.
Yes, dahil ako yung humarap.
Ikaw na ngayon ang ini-expect nila na gagawa nun.
Oo, ganyan. Hindi nagawa. Hindi nagawa. Tapos yung hindi nakagawa,
sige.
Oo. Yung hindi nakagawa, dinenay na niya na diba? So, kumbaga parang kinompare ko, tsaka yung parang nung nagli-lead na ako, parang yung yung parang yung betrayal.
At saka level of accountability.
Yes. Yung parang ganun din sa bawa may dinedevelop kang person or employee mo na parang least mong i-expect na parang broken hearted talaga ako nung time na yun, na parang pag kino-compare ko yung betrayal talaga nung person sa'yo, kasi hindi mo expect, especially sa amin sa co-op, no, kasi parang kami parang family culture yung ng co-op. So, parang pag dinanay ka, mamamarkahan ka na talaga na. Ako, pag iyan yung sinabi mo, siguraduhin mo naka-document ka.
Yes.
Kasi hindi mo makahawakan yung ganyan. So, yun yung yun yung ayan, tayo mo si Ruben. Siya pa daw yan. Hindi naman ito yan, Ruben.
Sex ba yan?
Actually, si Ruben, ko yan parang lagi kong tawag ba doon? Yung tagapagligtas ko lagi yan tagasalo tagasalo ko yan sa co-op Yun, yung kumbaga yung mga ganong si Ruben nag-start yan na na
Frontliner, di ba?
hindi. Outsource, kumbaga parang outsource ng co-op
Vendor.
sa IT. Oo. Ako yung nagko-communicate.
Hoy, pangit po ng
Ako
service
daw-
nyo, gano'n.
Hindi ako daw yung nag-pirate sa kanya, pero hindi. Kasi kumbaga
Kusa naman
naman,
siya.
hindi. Aalis na rin talaga siya doon sa company.
Nagkataon lang.
ginawa,
Coincidental. Blessing in
sa
disguise.
na yun naman yung naging yun naman yung naging ng mga co-op na kinaigitan ng ibang co-op kasi nga nagkaroon ng in-house programmer yung co-op. So, yun. So, yan. So, pero kasi, tama yung mga sinabi nating lahat na parang itong mga iniyakan natin, may malaking learning from doon
Mm-mm.
sa naiba yung, even sa siguro yung kapag ka nagli-lead ka na ngayon, mas magiging, sensitive ka rin doon sa kasi na-experience.
Yes.
mo,
So, hindi, that's a very good point na sinabi mo ngayon, no, Raquel, na kung saan, it's not only you learn from it, but also you're becoming more human to it.
Yes.
Human to it na you're sensitive also na kapag kunwari meron kang junior sa'yo na nagkamali, na same mistake, you won't be too harsh immediately to put parang, sanction na kita, ganto. No, because you are kind of expecting na, hey, that's it's a novice mistake. No, it's a beginner's mistake. So it's kind of expected that you have to go through that mistake. What's important is that you won't have to do it over and over again. Diba? But let me teach you this, no? Kasi some people, they are so parang perfectionist na wala nang room to error. No? Ang lakas makasiksig man na, hindi pwede. Pwede yung bang tanggapin ng isang piloto huy, pagpasensya mo ng unang araw ng lipad niya, so magka-crash talaga yung eroplano niyan. No, you cannot accept that fact. Uy, first operation niya to, so let's just cross our fingers na mabuhay yung pasyente. Diba?
Parang may naalala siya.
Diba? Pero ang sabi ganun ng pasyente, bakit po hindi ako mabubuhay? Tuli lang naman to. Pero hindi, kasi di ba doon nila na yung Lean Six Sigma na dapat walang room for errors. But as we progress, there's also that certain compartment in our experiences that becomes more human to accept some of the acceptable errors. Di ba? Yun na nga, we're not, if anything. So, anyway, Doc Matt, ang very interested ako. Doon sa na-share ba ni Doc Matt kanina, ano yung pinaka-naiyakan niya ba?
Parehas kayo.
Yes.
Kayo.
Yung pareho tayo.
Yes.
Yung sa holiday. Gusto ko pala mag-comment doon kasi totoo, yun din yung sukat ako na hindi talaga ako pwede mag-abroad din.
Ako naman, ever since, parang hindi ko rin talaga mag-abroad.
Pero alam mo ba na nagkaroon ako ng... Pero hindi, nagkaroon ako ng... And kinausap ko si Mama about this, di ba? And I think I was able to share some of it with you guys. But I think this conversation that I had with Mama, sabi ko ang ganon, Ma, kung nawala ka, dun lang ako siguro aalis ng bansa. And I'd be a totally different person altogether. As in, bigla ako magva-vanish. I won't be myself anymore. Ganong level. Umabot ako sa ganong level. Pero, sobrang captured ko yung sinabi ni Doc Matt doon kanina na, Oy, hindi ko kayang umalis ng bansa. Kailan ba ako umalis ng bansa? Never ako ni tumingin. Siguro nung college, ang plano ko talaga nun, since akala ko hindi ako makakapag-college, magja-Japayuki talaga ako nun.
Sa 50 years old nga natin, sa Golden, natin, di ba?
Sa New York tayo.
Sa New York tayo.
Wait, dyan tayo magla-live. Oo. Big Apple. Live in New York!
Yes!
Maganda yan.
Meron pa tayong 7 years.
Oo, 7 years. For Julie.
Ilang taon ka na ba ng George? Yung ating
Ay, by then, George, midlife ka na nun.
Oo nga.
Oo, midlife ka na nun.
Madaming
Pero yun, no? So, maganda yung mga experiences natin. Pero I guess, another part also, because I'm looking at the time, it's already 19 minutes past the hour.
Galit na naman si Sir Matt yan.
Siguro, another important aspect of being part of the workforce is leaving the workforce. right? Do we plan for it? How do you plan for it? Ako with 7 organizations that I've been part of, there were resignations that I've had. Actually, most of
True.
it naman. Most of it, I planned for. Most of it. Siguro isa lang yung talagang hindi ko pinagplanuhan. That was the first job. Because I never thought I'd going to leave that job sa people support. The culture was great. The pay was okay. Kasi, what do I know about pay? Hindi ko nga alam. Kasi hindi naman po sa nagyayabang ako kasi wala akong ipagyayabang. Nagkataon lang talaga na hindi ko talaga alam kung ano ba yung minimum wage. So when people are asking ano ba yung minimum wage, I don't know. I don't know if it's computed by the day or by the hour. Hindi ko alam. Basta ang alam
By
ko
beauty.
or kasi if it's ano by beauty, I should be resting so much. Yung ganon. And just paid. Ganun lang. Pero kasi yung part kasi ng
Kala ko umiyak ka na eh.
hindi part kasi ng pagiging part ng workforce is yung pag-alis eh. And I again like what I said, I never thought and it's true.
Sandal ko jacket ko mainit.
Oh, sige.
Scrubs
Di ba ba? Sabi ko naman po sa inyo, when we started our podcast today, papasukin na po din po namin ang Telegram, ang Grindr, at ngayon po pati Viva Max online. Ayan.
So, galing mo talagang sumegway pa rin eh, no?
And within the conversation. So, siguro yun yung isang bagay na palagi namang I never thought of leaving but I have to plan for it because it's not only me who's leaving, but it's also the organization losing me as part of their workforce. So, siguro...
Ano yung pinaka...
Ang hindi ko pinagplanuhan...
Hindi yung major reasons ng pag-aano mo sa iba. Kumbaga, yung trigger, ganon.
There was...
pinaka lang.
Yung pinaka... Shit.
Pag-ibig.
Uy!
Meron? Meron.
Wala.
Wala.
It's really more of
or siguro kahit hindi pinaka, yung doon sa, 'di ba, nakailang company ka? 8? 7. Doon sa 6, ano yung parang yung pinakamadaming iyon yung common denominator ng reason ng pag-alis mo sa company or yung pag-consider mo na aalis ka sa company?
Kasi, so people support, I was there for 6 years, and Miguel, I was there for 4 years. Minax, very short-lived. Iba-iba kasi yung storya niya talaga. So, hindi ko pwedeng masabi na majority to.
Okay.
Iba-iba yung reason ko why I left eh. Pero, siguro kung merong commonality, it's really more of my own wellness as a person.
Okay.
Kasi work can be way, way too stressful.
Kumbaga culture.
Health-wise. Kasi like for example, every time I join an organization, I always see myself retiring from that organization.
Taray, parang love life. Pa forever, pero pang 2 weeks. Bisa mo na.
Boy! Sabi ni Mickey Mouse. So, ang ano lang is, siguro, it really varies because again, ang punto ko lang dito is that I'm not only leaving but the organization is also losing a member of the workforce. So I don't want to say that I am ano bang tawag mo dito yung hindi mapapalitan, di ba? Kasi everyone is dispensable. No one is parang spared from being, indispensable yan, untouchable yan, ganito. Because even board of directors can be taken out. No? But it's really more of my own wellness, and I'm not only limiting that to physical health, but also, emotional, mental health. Because again, the BPO industry can be quite stressful. Some people would say na, tagasagot lang naman ang tawag yan. No, you do not understand because we have to go through the same level of training of the same people doing that in the branch, actual branch. So if you're working as a BPO agent representative for a bank, you're going through the same level and degree of training that the tellers in the bank are going through.
True.
And the level of expectation is the same. Because whether I go to the bank, the physical bank, or when I call you in your call center, I'll be expecting the same service. Right? So, yung level and yung degree of stress can be different. And yun yung take ko. Meron akong siguro dalawang common or tatlong common ko na resignation was primarily because of health. Diyan ko nakita ang sarili ko na I was crossing a flooded street in Mandaluyong sa may bandang marketplace, chest deep yung tubig. The flood was chest deep. And I was carrying my laptop bag on top of my head. And then my client was calling me. And sabi nga nun, Stephen, will you be able to make it to work? Tapos ko, yeah, I'm just trying to look for a drier spot right now because currently I'm in a chest deep flood area. I'm sorry, I'll just call you back. Sabi nga nung client ko. Sabi ko, sure. I actually brought some extra clothes to make sure that I'll be able to stay over the night tong anong to. And mind you, it was not the first time that I did that, na sumuong ako sa baha. May baon akong tsinelas, may baon akong pamalit na damit just to make sure that I'll be able to go to report for work. And it was easier for me when I was an agent. Kasi entry level ako, ang bit-bit ko lang sarili ko. It was totally different also. So the level of stresses is also different. When I already became a supervisor, when I already became a manager, it's totally different altogether. Kasi not only are you looking after your own yourself, but also your team members and also the business. I was part of a petroleum company before, and kapag mas may dilubyo, mas kailangan kang mas expected kang pumasok. Kasi ang iniiwasan mo is that yung mga franchise owners ng petroleum company na to would lose business habang may dilubyo. So you want to make sure that all the contingency plan is there, prepped up for them. Because you being the call center, you're kind of the catch basin of everyone else. Engineering department, the customers, the franchise owners, the motorista, and everyone else. Na parang, paano to? Tasay ko na lang.
Kayong dalawa, may ganyan kayong experience. Yung parang, kumbaga dati sa episode natin ng February, ano yung pinaka-greatest sacrifice ninyo sa work? Hindi ko in-imagine, Stephen, yung nandun nga, na-imagine ko tuloy na gano'n. Kung kayong dalawa, may gano'n ba kayong Bakit kayo natatawa?
No.
Si Matthew,
Kasi,
ko, nagdala yan ng cabinet sa school. Kumbaga parang ganun siya ka-personal, parang naghangta. Ganun siya ka-personal doon sa ginagawa niya sa work. Kasi even yung gamit nila sa bahay.
Dinadala niya.
Sa bahay, dinadala niya doon sa
para wag naman mag-kawawa yung school.
Yes.
Yun yung level of dedication na meron sa
Yes. Ay, example lang yun na ba?
Doon ko nga naalala na nagbitbit si Stephen.
Ikaw, Julie.
Ako naman, kasi before ako naging mag-work sa hospital, ate ko, since a nurse, alam ko na yung kalakaran ng working sa hospital. Shift, kapag on duty ka, may kalamidad, kailangan mo pumasok. So, sanay naman na ako. And before pa, na-plan ko na, since may locker naman kami doon, parati ako may extra for emergency na damit sa locker. Just in case mangyari. So, syempre, natural sa Pilipinas na binabaha, pag may pasok pa din. Kapag walang papasok na naka-stop, naka-endorse, extend. Ganon. So, nasanay na. Ang naging mindset ko naman, whenever I started working, alam to ni Matthew, because of Belinda May's debut, na I always have the goal to leave the country because ang aking baliw na pag-iisip nung ako'y 16 years
Kala ko
old.
baliw na pag-ibig.
Oo nga.
Alam mo na rin yun.
Iyon na yun. Iyon na yun.
Nakalagay is my Prince Charming is in a land far away across from the sea. So that's why I was always like adamant na I need to leave the country. So when I started working sa Philippines sa hospital, ang aim ko, to develop the skills tsaka ng credentials para makapag-apply ako sa abroad. And then when humanitarian aid work happened, ayan din, naging magandang training ground din na nasanay tayo sa mga baha ng Pilipinas. So, when I was working remote places na talagang very basic lifestyle na talagang medyo secluded, yung team mo lang kasama mo tsaka yung kung saan kayo nag-work, nag-survive kasi nandun yung resilience natin na kahit saan mo dalhin diba? Parating ang joke ko ngayon kapag, halimbawa, like tinatanong like, bakit ka lumipat dito sa US? You've been there, ganyan-ganyan. Or kaya bakit ka nandito sa upstate New York? Ang snow kapag winter. At sinasabi ko, I've survived the monsoon rains of Asia. I've lived sandstorms and then knee-deep na mud sa sub-Saharan Africa. And snowstorm here in the US is, it's a walk in the park in a way.
Kita, rinig ka. Ang daldal na ito kasi,
alam naman natin yan.
Oo nga.
So yun lang. Kaya na parang, nandun, hindi ako, yung sinabi ni Stephen na, baliktad kami naman kami ng mindset ni Mama Pen yan, yung, when you leave, may mawawalan din yung organization. Ako naman kasi, I was lucky in a way na, yung mga mentors ko doon sinabi na, it's okay, umalis ka kung kailangan mo. Kasi it's for your future. And, if in case magkita tayo after 5 years, 10 years, we start up from where we left off. Diba? Parang ganon. And then nung umalis ako dito sa hospital namin and I did the traveling contract, sabi naman nung pumalit na supervisor na sabi niya na, as what I always say, once organization's loss is another organization's gain.
Gain, yeah.
Yeah. So parang wala akong masamang tinapay sa mga iniwan kong work at pag-ibig.
Work ka. Sabi ko na masasagay.
At pag-ibig.
Kasi, nandun ako sa mindset kasi na, once na nandyan ako sa inyo, I'll give 150% na,
True.
Alam mo yon, like, I'll improve the process. Talagang may iwan akong something sa organization.
Legacy. Yeah.
Before, I had that mindset na, this is my legacy or what. But now, hindi na na parang, I'm just doing this to help you. Like, you'll take it as a legacy or not, okay lang.
Ay, tumutotoo si Sir Matt. Parang may ano.
Pero alam ko na hindi naman February ngayon. Alam ko na hindi February ngayon at saka Flores de Mayo na. Pero gusto ko lang, at saka kilusang Mayo 1. So gusto ko lang mag-comment kasi ni Julie, ang ideology niya before was that ang kanyang love of her life is not found here but in a faraway land. Ganun. Ako naman din, ang love of my life is not found here but has not been born yet. Kasi bata pa.
Walang seryoso yung sasabihin mo. Hindi naman yung anak mo.
Kasi bata pa Bata pa kasi. Ganyan.
Sana all.
Ikaw, Matt.
Ayan.
Yun na ba yung ano mo? Yun na yung...
Magpa-promote na ako dun sa mga kasisters natin.
Okay.
Na for a positive outlook sa buhay, I still have few copies left. Looking through a spyglass, positive psychology in practice.
Ang ganda pala ng cover niya, makinang.
Medyo glossy.
Wow. Yung parang ginawa mong, ano ba yung ginawa mo last week, Julie? Yung colorful din. Parang ganyan din yung color scheme di ba? Yung schematics niya.
Correct. Anyway, dun sa mga pinag-usapan natin,
wait lang, hindi mo na promote masyado ng nabigyan ng justice. Ano yung positive psychology na inaano ng book?
Wait lang din. Bago niya i-promote yan. Siguro kaya ako naman natanong kanina, parang to conclude or yung realization natin dito sa episode natin tonight. Parang gusto ko lang i-share na umpisahan na. I'm sure marami kayong gustong sabihin. Pero dapat na lang kasi more than 1 hour na tayo. Di ba, Sir Matt?
Correct.
Kasi madaldal. Ang daming siguro yung sa akin, parang kapag ginawa mo yung best mo sa anything na ginagawa mo, whether, kumbaga, di ba, love life, sa professional, sa personal, parang doon siya, doon, kumbaga, doon lalabas na parang yung nature yung magbabalik sa'yo ng positive. Kumbaga, parang, naalala ko kasi yung convo ko with, doon sa dalawang managers, sabi niya, ito nga pala yung anak ko, na masungit. So, yun, parang mabait to. O, si Matthew.
Hello!
Nahihiya siya eh. Kasi mabilis tong tumakbo. Ayan, si Kataboy. Yan.
Ang
Yun.
ganda!
Yun
Pogi
lang. Balik ako doon sa na pag binigay mo yung best mo, parang sabi ko nga yung nagko-convo kami ng mga managers kasi pinag-usapan meron akong kumbaga parang may investment na or opportunity na naman na dumating din sa akin. Sabi ko, alam niyo sa totoo lang, hindi ko in-expect yung ganitong blessing pero parang kapag ka pala parang pagka nandiyan na, parang talagang mafe-feel yung blessed ka talaga. Pero yun nga, in anything pala, pag ginawa mo yung best mo, siguro sa akin, hindi ko naman sa co-op, hindi naman writer and then love ko yung, kumbaga yun yung gusto kong gusto kong, kumbaga parang gusto kong doon ako tumanda or katulad nung kay Stephen, ang ganda ng mindset niya na lahat ng company na pinasukan niya is pang forever niya. So, likewise din, parang eventually, yung, di ba meron tayong sinasabi yung doon sa ikigai, na
Correct.
yun, doon ko lang na-relate kasi kababasa ko lang din, siguro a few days lang yung ikigai na
Kababasa ko lang
napaka-swear.
30 seconds ago.
So, binalikan ko. So, yung siguro napunta kasi ko doon sa co-op na parang gusto ko yung ginagawa ko.
Yeah.
Kasi syempre, numbers. Love ko yung, kumbaga parang love kong, gusto ko nga, di ba yung mga NGOs.
Yeah.
So parang
Yung
ganun
community.
din. Oo. Tapos, parang yung kailangan ng ganong, kumbaga, yung financial literacy, kailangan talagang hindi lang siguro sa Pilipinas, sa lahat ng stages ng tao. Parang para bang na-connect lahat. And siguro ang fortunate lang ako is as early nung kumbaga dun sa co-op, siguro parang wala pa akong 5 years na feel ko na ay parang oo, fulfilled ako doon sa ginagawa ko din dito. Yan yun yung kumbaga to relate yung sumakses ka na ba, parang natutuwa kasi ko na parang yung common denominator natin is yung gawin mo yung best mo, no? Biro mo si Stephen, no, dumaan sa baha. Parang, para saan, di ba? Parang gano'n. Yung mga
True.
sacrifices mo, parang yung pagkakataon talaga yung magbabalik sa'yo na, kumbaga, magbabalik sa'yo na parang good karma. Para pag nagtanim ka daw ng good is mag-harvest ka ng good. So, yun lang. So, yun. So, ikaw na. Anong realization mo?
Hindi, ako ang number one ko na realization is that kasi, and this is true also for those who may find themselves in the same position where I am now, na sometimes we think that at a certain level at work, you're secured through and through. There will also come a time wherein you'll be in between jobs. Tapos when you're in between jobs, dun pa biglang maraming challenges. Na parang walang sakit si mama the entire time na nagtatrabaho ako at meron siyang MaxiCare and ganito and sagot ng company, biglang asan yung insurance? Biglang wala yung mga ganon. And it's a very humbling experience, no? So siguro what my realization is, always appreciate what you have and never stop learning and developing yourself. If there's one thing, even during the times wherein I am in between jobs, dun sa mga panahon na I am unemployed, I always make sure that I still practice yung mga ginagawa ko sa office din. Like for example, nagkaroon ng sakit si mama, dahil wala naman akong work ngayon, I have to make a Kanban board, and then list down the task that is needed for the day, at what time should it end, at what time dapat nakainom ng gamot, at what time. I wouldn't have, katulad nga na sinabi ni Julie kanina, kung yung ang basihan lang niya is yung relasyon na meron siya sa akin, hindi niya ako makikita or mariringgan ng scope of work yung pagsasabihan. Similarly, ganun din yung pagkakakilala ko sa sarili ko. Kung ang basihan ko lang ay yung happy-go-lucky self ko lang din, wala rin ako masyadong pagbabasihan ng mga ginagawa ko ngayon. But because of the different experiences that I've gained through the 22 years, 23 years that we've been working, ako in the BPO industry, and the things that I have learned to organize, to lead teams, to run businesses, to make the process, improve. Similarly, yun din yung in-apply ko. Ano yung better way? Kailangan meron akong model muna bago gawin na paano ilalagay si mama from bed to wheelchair. Na hindi pwedeng isasagka mo kagad si mama ng ganon. So, dapat, sige, meron tayong muna dami-dami. And, those are the things that I learned from, experience. It may not be the actual thing kasi I don't deal with patients, but those are the methodologies that we follow. And siguro, ang biggest realization ko here is that yun nga, never stop learning and developing yourself. And I wanna connect it with what you said. Not only during the time that you don't have it, but most especially when you have it. When you have that work, give it your best shot.
Yes.
Sabi nga ni Eminem, you only have one shot. So, make the best out of it. To Julie's point kanina, she may not see it as a legacy that she's leaving, but basically to help. Anyway, we're being paid for it. Pero beyond the pay, the dedication, that you put into it.
Pati kumbaga parang yung sinabi ni Julie kanina na parang pag kaya niyang bumalik, kumbaga sa company na pinanggalingan
niya. No bad blood, yeah.
Yes.
Don't burn bridges.
Yes,
as much as you can.
Yes.
True.
Kayong dalawa, tanongin po.
Wait pa Ikigai, the book. According to
True.
Diba?
Ay, parang maganda yung Venn diagram na nasa likod.
Truth.
Alright, Raquel, remember yung talk ko about Ikigai sa co-op before? Remember that. Okay, so ang akin naman ang take ko for this episode for tonight would be two things. Let me just emphasize first yung sa psychological point of view ni Frank Parsons' trait and factor theory. Ang sabi niya na yung matching of our individual traits. Ano ba yung individual traits sa psychology? We have your interests, your skills, and your values. Dapat nagmamatch siya dun sa ina-applyan mong job requirement. Kasi pag nag-match yun, magiging okay ka. Yung longevity mo dun sa trabaho, yung kasiyahan mo, yung ikigai na tinatawag, nandun siya papasok. And to sum everything up, I will make this short and simple, yung aking personal mantra. Ito yung lagi ko rin sinasabi sa mga students ko na looking for a job, tsaka sa ating lahat din, na look for a job that you love and you will never work a day in your life. Yun lang para sa akin.
Ang swerte ng estudyante, Doc.
Oo nga no? Daming libre. Interest. Ano nga yun, Sir Matthew? Interest, values,
And skills. Dapat magmamatch.
Those different skills.
Kakakain.
Ayan, so dapat ang hanapin din trabaho yung hindi siya trabaho for you. Kasi kung mahal mo yung trabaho, hindi siya trabaho for you. Papasok ka lang kasi mahal mo yung ginagawa mo. Ayan. Look for that.
Hindi, alam ko realization mo yan, pero ang ganda kasing i-komenta nun. Kasi sometimes, tayo din, when are we stressed out? When we already consider something as a chore. That's when it becomes stressful. Now, when we see something that we do and it's becoming a chore. Ganyan. Kasi when it's a hobby, we don't stressed out by our hobbies.
Correct.
Diba?
O ano?
Julie, ano na? Ano sabi ng third
Sabi
world
ko naman.
country internet?
Nasabi ko naman na.
Yun ba? Yun pala. Sorry na. Ako pala yung
Hindi, diba? I guess, lahat naman tayo, kung i-choose natin maging empleyado, there's always a part na kasama na din yung career growth is always part of us growing as a person. Yung mga natututunan natin professionally, pwede nating apply in our daily lives. There's a lot of things na matututunan natin in our own selves as well while interacting sa work na pwede nyong gamitin pagdating ng future. And if in case like hindi mo naman planuhin maging empleyado forever, if you want to be a business owner, if you want to be self-employed, I guess whatever you learn in whatever experience, take the most out of it, use it to the most positive way that you can, and, you know, as a person, help other people, and make an impact in a way. Maybe not a legacy, or maybe a legacy that you want to live, but it's always move forward. Okay lang maging stagnant ka for a while, but always move forward.
And actually, yun yung isang magandang what I really enjoy during our conversations here in Midlife Crisis is that again, it's as much as possible we want to make our conversations very timely. We may miss out on some of the timeliness, no? Yung pagiging pop culture kinda timely ng conversations natin, but what we will never compromise on is the level of significance and relevance of the topics that we discuss. And these are the things that I hope our sisters were able to pick up on a little bit, especially those who are still in the workforce, who are about to, or who have kids. Di ba? Yung mga may anak na ngayon na papasok na ngayon sa trabaho.
Yes.
Di ba? Kasi if we're 43, tapos meron kang anak na 20 anyos, at ngayon pa lang siya magsisimula magtrabaho, eto ngayon yung mga bagay na, ito, kailangan simulan mo muna sa first, sa pag, mo ng biodata mo, ito yung mga possible na experiences na pwedeng mag-break sa'yo. Pero ito lang yung kailangan mong pagandaan, ito yung ganito. And even when you leave, it's not the end of the world. It's always about continuity of what you believe in accordance to your level of interest, skill, and values. And those are the things that we can truly share as sisters. And with that, that's actually a very good wrap of today's podcast. So we would like to thank our sisters for continuously listening, supporting us. And now that we have our own TikTok account, please also support our TikTok handle, Midlife Crisis for FB, Instagram, and TikTok. So isa yun, so at Midlife Crisis for FB, Instagram, and TikTok. So ayan, wala pa siya ngayon dito sa natin.
Ayan. Wala pa.
Wala pa.
Pero same lang.
Facebook, Spotify, and YouTube. Those are the handle names namin. But
thank you kay George.
Thank you, George.
Thank you so much.
George.
Thank you.
May miss you, Checo.
Checo, we miss you.
Sana makabit na yung air ko.
Oo.
Yun yung problema nila ngayon eh.
Enjoy your
Kasi laki ng mas malaki pa daw sa bahay yung aircon.
Aircon nila.
Yeah.
So, thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Enjoy the week.
Good
Enjoy the
night.
night.
Enjoy the week.
At do your best sa inyong work, and syempre.
And in life.
Oo, and in life. Tama.
Pati sex.
Oh, yeah.
Love life. Okay.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye.